right, forget those two wars, the complete collapse of our financial system, or even 9/11. In George W. Bush's soon-to-be-released memoir, he describes the following as the worst moment of his presidency.
The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
The Young Turk, Cenk Uygur, back with some of the headlines you might not have seen about the Bush 43 memoir. Sir.
That's always a wonderfully awkward moment.
Yes.
But apparently it really got to Bush. He said in his book, and I quote here, "I face a lot of criticism as president. I didn't like hearing people claim that I lied about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction or cut taxes to benefit the rich. But the suggestion that I was a racist because of the response to Katrina represented an all-time low." So let me get this right. We went to Iraq based on false premises, whether he lied about it or not. There were no weapons of mass destruction. That war was just wrong. And what happened in that war? 4,427 United States troops killed. But that wasn't an all-time low. There were 66,000 civilians killed, at least, Iraqi civilians. But that wasn't an all-time low. There was 1,836 people killed in Hurricane Katrina, but that wasn't an all-time low. And by the way, there was 8 million jobs lost because of the recession he created, the Great Recession. But that wasn't an all-time low. And by the way, also, there was a little thing called 9/11 on Bush's watch. And that wasn't an all-time low. But Kanye dissed you, and that was your all-time low? Well, oh no, Kanye doesn't like you. Did your feelings get hurt, George? You know what George Bush said when the CIA gave him a memo while he was on vacation as usual in Crawford, saying, we're going to get attacked by Al-Qaeda in Washington and New York. He said, quote, all right, you've covered your ass now. And he went back on vacation. And then we lost all those people on 9/11. But that wasn't the all-time low. Kanye dissed them. That was a low. Now, that isn't even the most startling part of the book. In the book, he also admits to a war crime. He said when they asked him, hey, should we waterboard Khalid Sheikh Mohammed? He admits it. In the book, he says, I told them, damn right. Go ahead and torture him, basically. Now, the quote right there is damn right, and this refers to waterboarding, okay? Now, is waterboarding really a war crime? Well, it's against the Geneva Conventions, which is international law, which we sign, and when we sign it, it becomes supreme law of the land here in the United States of America. But that's not just theoretical. We've prosecuted people for waterboarding before. I'm going to get to that in a second. But let's see what the generals think. One of our top generals is going to talk to Carl Levin here while Bush was still president, mind you. Here's his testimony.
General, do you believe that waterboarding is consistent with Common Article 3 of the Geneva Conventions?
No, sir, I don't.
Do you believe it's humane?
No, sir, I think it would go beyond that bound.
Well, he's not alone in thinking that, because here are the prosecutions we've done for waterboarding in this country. After the Spanish-American War, U.S. soldiers were court-martialed. After World War II, Japanese soldiers were convicted for waterboarding, a violation of our laws. And in 1983, a Texas sheriff was sentenced to 10 years in prison for waterboarding. Now, it seems to me we've got a confession here of a war crime and a clear violation of international and United States law. President George W. Bush should go to jail for at least 10 years. Will that happen? Not with an administration that only wants to look forward and never backward to crimes that were actually committed.
Are you surprised? Actually, I don't have enough time to talk about it. I'm going to let rant stands for itself. I will interrogate you no further. Thank you for joining us today and offering your fine and insightful and informed commentary both at the beginning and the end of our show. Every DR show should begin and end with a Young Turk. Check him out, youngturks.com.